Weeks before the 2024 Indian elections, a 29-year-old YouTuber named Dhruv Rathee uploaded a video flatly asking if India was becoming a dictatorship. It racked up over 37 million views on YouTube alone, but the true scale of its reach happened off-platform. The video was engineered to be downloaded and pushed through massive, decentralized WhatsApp networks. Rathee launched a campaign urging his viewers to forward his videos to 100 contacts each, turning his audience into a distribution engine. You have to ask why a single guy with a webcam sitting in Germany is doing the adversarial heavy lifting that usually belongs to an entire nation's journalism industry. A lone creator generating this much political gravity is a direct symptom of a massive institutional media failure inside the world's largest democracy. Over the last decade, India's legacy press was systematically compromised. Independent newsrooms were hollowed out and replaced by a highly coordinated state corporate nexus. Look at this capital flow chart. It maps out how television networks became utterly dependent on government advertising. By peaking pre-election ad spending at billions of rupees, the central government created a perverse incentive where critical reporting meant financial starvation. When financial pressure wasn't enough, outright acquisition took over. Independent networks were bought out by billionaires with close ties to the ruling party, immediately silencing their critical editorial boards. This engineered ecosystem is commonly known in India as Godi Media, literally lapdog media. Its primary function became the unconditional cheerleading of the prime minister, shielding him from any substantive policy scrutiny. To distract from issues like unemployment or healthcare collapses, these networks deployed aggressive diversionary tactics. They utilized prime-time slots for communal scapegoating, often targeting Muslims, and actively vilified student activists and dissenting voices as anti-national terrorists. By monopolizing the official flow of information, the state-aligned media created a severe reality vacuum. People's lived experiences no longer matched the news they watched, forcing them to look elsewhere and sparking an asymmetric digital war. The battle for public perception quickly spilled over onto the internet, and the state's reach extended far beyond traditional television broadcasts. The ruling party built a massive financially driven IT cell. Instead of relying on grassroots volunteers, they hired highly paid corporate consultancies to dictate and disseminate political messaging down to the district level. They deployed armies of algorithm-manipulating trolls to flood platforms like Facebook and X, manufacturing trending topics to ensure state-sanctioned narratives dominate the timeline. This infrastructure routinely engineers fake news pipelines specifically calibrated to incite fear, polarize the electorate, and target political opponents with highly organized smear campaigns. This is a coordinated disinformation state, built to overwhelm critical thought through sheer, unrelenting volume. Against this Goliath, a decentralized bottom-up counter-architecture emerged. The first layer of this resistance consists of independent fact-finders and English-first digital media outlets like Alt News and the Reporters Collective. These journalists dig through public data and file right-to-information requests to conduct deep, evidence-based investigations, and they do it under constant threat of physical intimidation and retaliatory legal action. The second layer is the Digital Creator Network, a sprawling group of YouTubers, satirists, and political commentators operating largely in Hindi and regional languages. Look at how this two-tier pipeline operates. The dense investigative reporting from the fact-finders flows into the creator layer. Creators then translate those dry documents into highly retentive, viral video content that the general public actually wants to watch. Through this precarious, decentralized alliance, ordinary citizens built the only functional fact-checking mechanism capable of rivaling the state's reach. The financial disparity between these two sides is massive. While the state ecosystem is backed by billions, the insurgents rely almost entirely on precarious crowdfunding and small donations to keep their servers running. To survive, creators employ sharp evasion tactics. Many use coded satire and inside jokes to bypass algorithmic throttling and state censors, using laughter to puncture political machismo without triggering immediate bans. They also actively weaponize the state's preferred distribution methods. By organizing their own grassroots WhatsApp sharing campaigns, they bypass traditional media bottlenecks entirely. Competitive authoritarianism maintains formal democracy, like elections, while employing informal mechanisms to secretly tilt the scales. The state maintains control through quiet counterattacks, freezing bank accounts, launching tax rates, tying creators in lawsuits, and drafting bills to wrap content in red tape. It is a brutally asymmetric conflict, pitting institutional coercion against raw guerrilla digital resilience. When the 2024 results were finally tallied, the ruling party had lost its absolute majority. While the outcome was driven by a complex mix of rural distress and regional economic shifts, the election took place in an information environment where the government's narrative was, for the first time, facing systemic digital competition. By hammering away at issues like unemployment and the transparency of electoral bonds, the insurgent network injected a persistent cognitive dissonance into the public square. It didn't replace the state's messaging, but it did strip away the sense that the ruling party's return was an unchallenged certainty. But this new media model carries critical limitations. Influencers operate without traditional newsroom checks, balances, and editorial oversight, leading to instances where unvetted videos have triggered severe harassment campaigns against individuals. Many of the major creators also hold notable ideological blind spots. They frequently rely on soft Hindutva framing to appeal to the majority, while failing to deeply engage with the systemic realities of caste discrimination and marginalized communities. Ultimately, this network functions as a decentralized counterbalance. In a decade where traditional media institutions have largely ceded their role as watchdogs, these digital spaces have become the rare arena where the state's narrative is still met with visible, vocal contestation.